I was bored, I was lazy, not doing anything, sleeping, and not doing what I have to do. Grant Cardone changed my life.
I want to showcase your success at Growth Conference 3.
I promise you it'll change your life.
When I met him, my entire life got better. He makes people better. He's a magnifier.
It was so empowering, it was so inspirational, and my husband and I will walk away from the GrowthCon changed forever.
I would say to you from all over the world, come to the next 10X conference.
Sales mastermind, real estate mogul, social media influencer, international speaker, and the #1 trainer in the world and creator of the 10X movement, Grant Cardone. How are you today, Grant?
Good. I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's roll.
All right.
All right, so get it going, John. Get it started.
Get it going, Johnny boy. Miami can't even handle this. Dade, Broward County, wake up, boys and girls.
Hi, everyone. This is John Zwirzina and Jeff Green here from the National REIC in Palm Beach area. How are you today, Jeff?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good, good. We have with us here today sales mastermind, real estate mogul, social media influencer, international speaker, and the #1 sales trainer in the world and creator of the 10X movement, Grant Cardone. How are you today, Grant?
Man, I'm doing great, my friend. I'm doing great. You know, the thing you're not saying about me is that I'm a local Miami business owner. We have 129 employees here. I moved from LA 5 years ago with 4 employees. Moved down here to Sunny Isles in Miami, and we have 129 employees here. We run 5 little businesses out of Aventura. We took over the Northern Trust building. I bought the building, I guess, a year ago. And we're putting people to work, giving people opportunities, and we're doing our part to bring money to the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the Florida marketplace.
Good.
Nice. So, how did you get started in real estate? Was it single families, or you're slinging these apartment buildings like they're nothing? We're single family rehabbers the majority of the time, and you're just making us look like we stand still. So how did you get started? I get that question all the time. How?
Yeah, so #1 is my first business was not apartments. Okay, I love real estate. I've always loved real estate since I was a little boy, and my dad who died when I was 10, he would drive around town, Lake Charles, Louisiana. I lived there 30 years, and he would drive around town, and he would look at real estate on the weekends. And the interesting thing is, Jeff, he was a stock broker. He wasn't a real estate guy. And I even at the age of 8 years old, I wondered. I'm like, kids are brilliant, right? Kids have way more data than parents sometimes give them credit for. And I'm thinking to myself, he sells stocks, but he looks at real estate on the weekends. And I think that made a real big impact on me. The value of real estate, that people innately know that real estate is a good thing. I wouldn't buy my first real estate until I was 29 years old. I bought a single family home, $78,000, put $3,000 down, and grab me my book, John, the real estate book. Put $3,000 down. Like a lot of people, their first start is, I went to the bank and said, hey, I'm going to live there. I didn't. I rented it, And I bought that house. I thought I was going to be a real estate mogul, man. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get rich. I was making like $140 on top of the loan amount. I think the loan was $560, and I was getting $700. Rented it to this cute little girl, this young woman. She was she worked for a CPA. Her and her sister rented from me. I'm like, man, this is gonna be good. Houston, Texas, my first deal. I'm gonna be a real estate mogul. And it was good until November when they moved out. And before they moved out, there was a lot of complaining that started. It was the tenant complaining about the termites, and complaining about the electricity. Had some electrical problem, had air conditioning issues, had some mold issues. Like every month there was a problem, and it was starting to take away from my main job. And so this idea of becoming a real estate mogul, I'm like, damn, this is a lot of work here. So they moved out. I sold the place. It took me 4 months to sell the place because it was November, December, January, February. In Houston, you do not want to be selling a single family house or trying to rent one when it's cold and wet outside. And I realized within 6 months how little I knew about real estate. I would not buy another piece of real estate. I broke even on that deal. Luckily enough, I broke even on the deal. I would not buy another piece of real estate for 3 years. And the next piece of real estate I would buy was 38 units. I went back and started studying what I had done wrong. And what I had done wrong was I didn't buy enough units. The number of units solves problems. And so today, if you've been reading The Real Deal in Florida, I just bought a $50 million deal up in Orlando, closed on a Delray deal at $92 million. Sold a deal in Boca that I bought that Real Deal said I paid too much money for. They actually wrote me up 3 years ago and said, Grant Cardone, master negotiator, paid too much for a Boca deal. I made $5 million on that deal. I bought it for 12, sold it for 18.
And if you listen to the masses, you'll never do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If you listen to the newspapers, you'll go insane. So, it's funny, the people at Real Deal, I'd like to know how much real estate they've actually ever bought.
They're on the sidelines. That's it.
Yeah.
They're just on the sidelines.
I just sold 800 units in Nashville for $91 million. I paid $63 million for that 3 years ago, made $28 million that deal. So I'm saying all that to say I'm very, very active in large multifamily complexes. And the reason I'm so confident about it is because if you study the demographics in this country, not only will millennials be renters, the baby boomer will become a renter over the next 20 years. The housing industry as we know it is the most susceptible to a pullback. If there was an economic shift right now, single-family homes, by the way, there's already a foreclosure problem on single-family homes that nobody's talking about in this country. We still have an issue here with single-family being an issue, a problem. But if you could take the single-family, and what I've done successfully is I took the single-family concept and just said, I want to add doors to it. So, like, we don't look at anything smaller than about 20 doors, and we'd prefer to be at 32. Easier to get a loan, better debt, longer term financing, more cash flow, and it weathers economic contractions better. And when things go back to recovery, rents go up faster at those properties than they do a single family house.
Amazing. It's knowing your craft, it's getting good at it, it's honing your skills.
Yeah.
And getting in as soon as possible. I did my 20 years at public supermarkets driving semis, and after that I'm like, there's got to be something else. There has to be.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. I was not going to spend my whole life at one place. So you have this 10X growth conference coming up, right?
Yeah,
we have
my first business again was not real estate. It was consulting very large businesses on how to increase their sales and their customer experience. So I've worked for companies like, big companies that do $5 billion a year in sales would bring me in and say, hey, we want to steal audience or customers from our biggest competitor. And so people would hire me since I was 35 years old, to go in and work with that company to raise their revenue. Companies like Ashley Furniture, Morgan Stanley, Chrysler. Look, I worked with the U.S. military to help them with their recruiting. Whatever the top line of a company is, how can I raise that level? So the reason I'm telling you that is the real estate has kind of been a hobby of mine, that ended up being, we did $393 million worth of transactions last year of purchases in real estate. That's my hobby. My main job is working with large companies and entrepreneurs. We're going to have 35,000 people show up at Miami Marlins Stadium. I rented the stadium, called up Derek, and I said, hey, why don't we put some real winners in that stadium?
That's a beauty.
Okay. So we're going to have 35,000 people there. Entrepreneur conference, largest entrepreneur conference ever held in the United States ever, and the largest entrepreneur conference ever held on planet Earth. And we're bringing it to Miami.
And that's the old Orange Bowl, which I've been to many, many, many times and seen a lot of Miami Hurricane games there. That's great that they did that. When exactly is that? What date?
February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we're almost sold out. You're probably seeing it run. We're running ads and billboards. If you're driving around town, you've probably seen my billboards. Steve Harvey's going to be there. Damon John, Sarah Blakely. Sarah Blakely borrowed $5,000, and she's got $1 billion business now called Spanx. Bethany Frankel got a little TV time, turned it into a couple $100 million. I'm going to have some of my real estate buddies. Friday night, we're going to do a special real estate briefing. Robert Gibbons sold $25 billion worth of commercial real estate in this town. He's going to be there to help talk to people about what's going on in the real estate market. We're going to be talking business, marketing, social media, everything to do with expansion. Anybody that wants to 10X their money, scale their business so they can actually have the life they want, that's what we're going to be spending 3 days talking about.
So that's why you're calling it 10X, because they can multiply their growth 10 times or more.
Yeah, exactly. Like the problem I had the first 15 years I was in business is I didn't know how to scale my business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't scale your business, you become a slave to the business. And people are always asking me, when's enough enough? Enough is enough when you can scale and you don't have to do anything and you keep getting enough. So if you don't scale your business, basically you're a business owner that's a slave. I know business owners that make less money than employees.
Yes,
in fact, 64% of all businesses in America break even or lose money right now today because they never learned how to scale big enough so that they could actually hire people to do the work that the business owner should not be doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they say. They're supposed to be, for every employee, he brings you 5 times the business or whatever. So, what would you like to say to somebody that's kind of on the fence? They've heard about it. They see all the advertisements, the billboards, the Facebook, and they're thinking about it, but they're like, this is apartment building stuff. It's a huge event. I just don't know. What would you say to these people that's really going to help them get off the fence and buy a ticket and come to the event? I know the event's awesome.
So look, I would just tell you, like, number one, this is not a motivational event. Okay, this is not.
It could be.
Well, yeah, but it could be, but that's not the purpose, right? We're actually the people that are coming are already motivated.
Oh yeah.
You're either motivated because you want to do more, or you're motivated because you don't want to stay where you are. So all I'm saying is, like,
just being around other people like yourself. I mean, that's motivational.
There you go. There you go. And we're not just talking about real estate here, because real estate by itself is not the problem. Business is the problem.
Sure.
Like, if you don't have money to buy real estate, or you don't have the credit to buy real estate, or you don't know where to start with real estate, it's because you aren't using the tools that are available. We've raised in 50 days without a bank, without the support of a bank or a major financial institution, I raised $50 million in 47 days on social media. Now, I'm 60 years old, so anybody in Miami or Fort Lauderdale that's listening to this right now, you're in Wellington, you're up in St. Lucie, you're in Orlando or Tampa, wherever you are, and you're 60 years old, and you're not using Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and YouTube. All you're doing is counting your days in your lazy boy. You're like, I'm done. You are crazy. This is the easiest time in your lifetime to make money.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And YouTube does not care about my age.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I can be interesting, I can be creative, I can raise money today without the banks. I don't need hard money lenders anymore. I need people that know me and trust me, and I need to deliver to those people. So that's the game. We're not just talking about real estate at this conference. We're talking about, how do you expand your business? How do you expand your connections? How do you expand your awareness? How do you have enough money so that you can actually make a difference in your community? How can a kid from Lake Charles, Louisiana, that was broke at 25, owned 7 businesses, raised $100 million last year, $50 million in the last 47 days. Like this is at the end of 27 days at the end of the year. It's insane, right? Be one of the top social media people in the world. And I'm the same kid I was when I was 25. I'm just a little older now.
Oh, I say the same thing every day. I'm just so happy to be in the positions that myself and John are in. And
yeah.
and yourself in your position, because we all get up every day and we get out there and we do something. We don't just let,
Yeah,
just don't
exactly.
sit
And you're
still.
out networking. You're out meeting people like me. I'm meeting people like you. And
Correct.
this conference gives you an opportunity. If you're sitting on the fence, hey, get out of your house. Get out of your house. Nothing great will happen to you in the confines of your home. Nothing. Every great thing, including my 2 beautiful children that I had with my wife, okay? That did not happen in my home. I mean, it did, but it happened in my bedroom, but it happened because I left my house and went and got my wife. Every great thing that has happened in my life required me to leave the house and go to an event. I've moved 6 times in my career. Every move has been good for me. Every great meeting I've had happened outside my office, not inside my office. If you're going to make your life something, you have to leave home. Even Jesus had to leave his home. But you got a lot of people in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale throwing in the towel right now saying, I'm done. 2019, this is the perfect time to leave your house. Come spend 3 days with me. Look, if this one doesn't work, don't ever go to another one again.
I'm very optimistic about 2019. I mean, we're opening new businesses by the day, whether it's brokerages, title companies, anything that we can do, because we know the business is there. It's there.
Best year ever. This is going to be the best year ever for a lot of people.
I'm excited as can be. It's amazing. And this will be my 591st event this month of different lunch meetings, because I used to have like 3 lunch meetings a month and a regular meeting. And the whole idea is people come and they network, they find what they're looking for, just like you're saying, get out of the house.
Yeah.
So I believe in networking. I believe in lunch meetings, bigger events in the evenings, because you have different crowds too. And then we're able to grab some of the people, the business professionals that, can't make it out on a Wednesday night. And I'm working with my 2 sons as well. So that's kind of a dream come true. In the beginning, you're like, oh, can we afford, to have a family member work? And then the next one. And then you just keep hiring more and more people. And as long as it keeps working, it's just great. And, we've had some bad times. I lived through the Great Recession. Yeah. I was just like everybody else, but I didn't quit. I didn't go back to truck driving. Here I am. And last year was one of the best years ever.
Yeah, your network is your net worth, okay? Everything that's going to come to anybody. If you want to expand, if you study, I've studied for 30 years the most successful people on this planet, living and dead. Financially successful. So I'm not talking about people that are just happy. I'm talking about people, I'm just completely transparent here. I've been studying for 30 years people that have created enough wealth to where they could do whatever they wanted. I was not seeking wealth to be happy. I was seeking it for freedom. And so if you study these people, the Warren Buffetts, the Bezoses, they all network with other people that are doing big things. They do not stay at home. Even Bill Gates. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett met at an event, became friends because of that. So people need to leave home, get out, network. If you're an introvert, this conference is perfect for you because it's the 10X Growth Conference. We have people coming from around the world that are coming with the intent to expand. Right. Everybody's coming. Like you can walk up to somebody and say, I'm an introvert, but I'm here to 10X, and you're going to feel completely at home.
Oh, yeah. I love it, every bit of it. It's bringing people together. What is your sweet spot, though? What's your thoughts on motels, hotels, multifamily, mixed office use? Doesn't matter?
Look, I'm a simple guy, right? So I'm a simple guy. My sweet spot is apartments. $1,200, $1,500 a month rents is affordable. It's affordable. We bought that deal in Delray for $92 million. The pool's probably $1.5 million. People are like, well, they could buy in Delray, they could buy a house for $400,000. They don't get that swimming pool. You don't get that swimming pool. You go to $12 million and not get the swimming pool I have at that place. So we're not competing now with houses. I'm buying large multifamily. Why? Because people have to live somewhere. People do not have to have a business in retail anymore.
Sure. I always say that about single family. That's just because I'm in single family and somebody has to live somewhere.
Yeah. Well, single family is good, then 20 families in one location is 20 times better.
That's even a lot better.
One closing.
Yes, and that's easier math.
Easier
It's
math.
all got a
right?
plus in front of it.
So some of you got more landscape at your one single family house than I got on 300 units.
True. And I love South Florida. I mean, I've been here all my life. I'm a native, never went anywhere. Well, I visited some other states and stuff and bought some stuff up north, but there's nothing like paradise down here. And for you to be doing it in our local market, I mean, that's amazing, because a lot of these are going to be local people that want to visit. And they're like, oh, well, the guy's far away. He just flew in and then he's going to get back on the plane and go back away.
Yeah.
And, but you're local. It's amazing.
We brought this to Miami. Look, Orlando's got a much bigger facilities. Las Vegas has got bigger facilities. There's a lot of other places I could have had this event. I chose to have this in Miami because I want to support the local Miami business owners. We spent $1 million in billboards in this town. That's good for everybody. I have 129 employees that are paid an average of $70,000 a year right here in Aventura. That's good for the economy. The local Starbucks right here, 2 blocks from me, the Chipotle's right behind me, right here at the Northern Trust Building in Aventura. Constantly every day, their revenue went up because I got employees here. You guys need to support, not you guys, but people listening, support your local businesses. When somebody takes a risk in this town, go to the stadium. Support the business owners. That's the thing that's missing here, that people here don't support community enough because we got so much transient stuff happening here that Miami doesn't grow up somehow, right? But now's the time for Miami to grow up, Fort Lauderdale to grow up and really start supporting their local businesses.
Well, I'm happy of the influx, because being here in South Florida, I mean, we're getting people from every single country.
Yeah.
And they want to be here because this is paradise. And, you put something on the market, it sells, or you rent something out, it rents. I mean, we have the volatility. It's like you go to a different place in the middle of the state or whatever, it might be a dead zone, and, good luck. So, yeah, the idea of being down here with just such an influx of people every day coming and going.
And just so you know, we have people from 50 countries flying in for this conference that will be introduced to Miami for the first time.
Wow.
Maybe even Florida for the first time. So the economic impact to the cities, about $127 million. Hotel rooms, dinners, Ubers. So anybody in the local market, if you live in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all the way up the coast, man, if you live anywhere close here, we got people coming in from Istanbul, Germany.
Well, they probably think it's near Disney World, because if it's a small map, I mean,
exactly.
Miami.
They think they're going to go see Mickey Mouse later, right?
They can still go on the 5th or 6th day. They can.
Well, on the 4th and 5th, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is the 10X Growth Conference. On the 4th and 5th, I'm doing a real estate training on how I buy apartments for 2 days at the Diplomat Hotel up in Hollywood.
Okay.
That event's $10,000. I mean, you can get to the growth conference for as little as like $147 or $95 or something. This real estate conference, which we know is going to be sold out, is 2 days of me basically showing people, real estate, people serious about real estate, how I'm buying deals, how I'm getting them financed, how do I find them, how do I get them full, how do I sell them. How do I make decisions on what cap rate? How do I get them to cash flow? How do I increase rents? And that's on the 4th and 5th. So you can't go to Disneyland on the 4th and 5th. You got to come hang out with me for 2 days.
I don't have a problem with that. I could use all the education I can get. I'm a slow learner.
There you go.
What you got, John? You got one?
So I just wanted to ask Grant, is there any tickets available still for people that can meet you and stuff like that? Any VIP tickets available still?
If you go to 10xgrowthcon.com/VIP, 10xgrowthcon.com/VIP. If you've ever been to Marlin Stadium, what we did was we took the stadium. Again, this is going to be the biggest conference they've ever had there. This is the biggest conference ever held in the world. Okay, and I said, look, I want a VIP experience created for people that want to meet the speakers, that want to meet me, that want to spend time with me. I want to move those seats to the field. So between catcher's plate and second base is seating. So the VIPs, premiers, and the diamond selection of seating is all sitting on the field between first and third base.
That's a beauty. How long did it take you to think about all this and where you wanted to be and who you wanted to invite? I mean, it took some time.
This is our third event. I mean, I did my first event. It was 2,200 people at our first event. Took 77 days to sell. We did our second event in Vegas. It was 10,000 people. Now this is 3 times bigger. We've only been doing events for a couple of years. And I think the reason why is because this is not rah-rah. Okay?
Right.
The people that are coming to this event, most of them do not need the rah-rah. They want the how-to.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be inspired, right? But most people are like, they don't want to rub people's shoulders and jump up and down. The people that I attract in my life are not those people. They're like, hey, I want to know how to grow my business. A company like Nissan Motor Company doesn't hire me to get them excited. They hire me to raise their top line because that's the only thing that matters every quarter to their shareholders. So the people that are coming to this event want to grow their businesses. So whether you're making $1 million a year and you want to go to 10 million, or 10 million you want to go to 100, or 100 million you want to go to $1 billion. I've done all of those for companies and individuals. So how do I decide who I want there at the conference? I pick who I want to learn from. Every speaker at the event has something that I want. So I pay them, come to my event. There's a guy named Dice. Ryan Dice, #1 digital marketer in the world. I paid him to come here, so I get 3 days with this dude to help me out on my digital marketing because I don't know anything about it. I know I need to be there. I'm bringing a guy like Ty Lopez in. Okay, this guy from his home produces $50 million worth of revenue using social media, selling junk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he can sell junk and make $50 million, man, what can I learn from that guy and sell great products? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is a celebrity. You're like, what does Steve Harvey have to offer you? Steve Harvey lived in a car. He has been in the most competitive place. You guys think real estate is competitive? Try TV. This guy does $50 million a year. I want to know Steve. I want to connect with Steve. So what do? I pay Steve. He's like, no, I don't even want the money, dude. I want to come learn from you. So Damon John, here's a kid that was selling T-shirts and sold his company for $6 billion. I picked the list of people I want to deal with and learn from to be at the conference because I believe that if I can learn from them, the audience will as well.
I love that theory because sometimes, we'll go out and find people and, like we've had property appraisers, we want to know all the little tricks about the website and how can we learn more? How can we do more sales comparables? It doesn't hurt. And they love coming and talking. And so, you pick who you want to hear and what you want to learn. That makes a lot of sense. What else you got, John?
Well, I think that's about it. I just want to thank Grant for being here with us and look forward to catching up with you at the event.
Can't wait to see you guys. And any of you that can't get to the event for some reason, man, shame on you. But anybody that wants to grab this book, you can get it at grantcardone.com/free books. So I'm not here to sell you books. You want my books, you can have them for free.
Where do they get the VIP tickets where they can meet you again?
Yeah, Grant Cardone, 10xgrowthcon.com/VIP.
VIP, okay.
Yeah, and that's on the field. I think those seats are as low as what, $800 or something? $1,000? I think you can buy a VIP seat for as little as $1,000. Don't hold me to that. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's changing every day. As we get closer to the event, it'll be more money. But I'd love to see you there. I'd love to have you support us in what we're doing. And I promise you, this will be the best experience. If you went to O in Vegas or you went to Jersey Boys or you went to any of those shows, you've been to see Tony Robbins up in Fort Lauderdale, I don't care what event you've been to. You've been to a Super Bowl, I'll guarantee you this will be the single best experience you and your family, you and your company have over 3 days in your lifetime.
I mean, you're renting out a whole stadium. Oh, my goodness.
Who does that, man? Who does that?
Who does that? That's funny.
So that's all the time we have. So anyone interested in attending the 10X Growth Conference with us, visit www.10xgrowthcon.com. Get your tickets. Make sure you stop by and see myself, Jeff, Robert, Austin Green. Hope to see you all there. Grant Cardone. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hey, guys, one other thing. Anybody that gets a VIP seat or better, you can come to our free real estate seminar Friday night.
Okay.
Okay. We'll include that for your audience.
So, all right. So everybody that gets a VIP ticket, you get to go to the 2-day
No.
seminar.
The event Friday night. We have a real estate briefing. It's like a 2-hour briefing Friday night. You're gonna get me in trouble, man.
I know,
So it's the same place, just the 5th day then.
Yeah. It's just an extended portion of the conference where just real estate people come in and say, "Hey, what's going on in real estate?" Like you guys will be a great addition to that to be able to.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So everyone make sure you visit 10xgrowthcon.com and have a great day.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
Make this the best day ever.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, I mean, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.